Hello everyone, welcome to day 212 of playing chess every day for you. Let's find the game. We're playing against c4, the English opening, so I could play c5 myself, but I think I'll go for e5 this time. They developed their knight. I could play knight to c6, I think, as the best move. It seems the most natural. Knight f6 is interesting. Striking the center doesn't work because they just take. So I think I will go for knight c6, just stopping d4. They play knight to f3, and I could just play d6 to stop this. d6 looks okay. I don't think f6 is a good move. I could bring my bishop out to d6, but that would stop me from pushing, so I'll just play d6 for now. This does stop me from developing my dark squared bishop for now, but that's okay. If they ever play e4, I get to pin that knight to the queen. I think here I should... f5 seems nice, but then I'd have to castle long. They also... Yeah, I think I should just develop my knight squared bishop now to f5 before anything else. They can kick me back with e6, e4 now, but then I just pin that knight. They go ahead and push d3. That would give me the chance to pin that knight to their king, but I can't do that at the moment. I'll just go ahead and play knight f6 here. They develop their bishop. I think I should probably just bring my queen to the center, more central. I could play queen d7 and then try to attack them on the king side, because they're trying to castle right now. They do go ahead and castle. If I play h3, bishop h3, I'm just trying to remove their bishop. And that's actually a nice move, because if I can get my queen to this h3 square after trading, I have knight g4, which will just win on the spot. So if they take on h3 with their bishop, I think that's a huge blunder. I get to get my queen in, and then play knight g4. They would be able to play knight g5 though, and that would force my queen to leave. But they choose to go for pin on my knight instead. I could take here first. I could also just block with my bishop. I'm not worried about them taking here at all. So I'll just play bishop e7. I have the option of long castling also. I'm not sure of my plan from here. I could probably take the bishop. Their light squares would be weakened a lot. I could also just play h6 and try to get them to take. If they go back, I can actually expand and trap their bishop, so they do have to take here. Now I'm threatening to play... Okay, they jump in straight away. They take the chance to jump in right away. I was going to say I have the chance of playing e4 here. Just attacking two pieces. But they choose to jump in, and this threatens my bishop. It's not a nice move to play against. I have to make a choice of leaving with my bishop now, or... I mean, I could push, because if they take... No, taking comes with a check on my queen. I can't allow them to take. I mean, I do like bishop g5, because if they choose to take, I can take and I open up my rook, so that's very nice for me. They shouldn't really take on g5 ever, because that'll just bring my rook into the game. And actually that would be so beneficial to me, because I could take their bishop and be able to come in with my queen. And it would be a huge danger for them. What I really could do next is try to remove their knight. Because if I'm able to remove their knight, I'm just able to come in with all my pieces on this h-file. So knight to d4 would actually be a nice move. I'd also be attacking this, almost. They go ahead and take my bishop on h3. And wow, that's a very nice find. A really nice find, because if I do take the bishop, I'll end up walking into a fork. That's a very nice move that they found. And I think I have to actually take the bishop. I can't let them be a full piece up. Well played to them. I think I have to play king over to ensure that I can pick up the knight back. They could also leave, but yeah, now I have to pick up the piece, and I'm just down a piece. That's a very nice find from them. I didn't see that threat at all. They jump back with their knight. My goal is to get a knight to g4. Because then I'm threatening mate. A knight to g4 would have to be on these squares. Yeah, I don't think I want to trade here. I think I start with rook e8 and starting to push these pawns. f5 and e4. Then I can play knight e5, threatening knight g4. I think that's the only way I'd be able to create an attack. Because I'm down 3 points of material. An exchange on the pawn. So f5, e4 is my plan. With knight e5, knight g4, just attacking their very weak king. My king's in the middle of the board, but is actually quite safe right now. They have the option of pushing, but that won't really help them that much at the moment. I'll play f5 here. Just playing for e4. And I do know that this loses a pawn. If I can get e4 on the board, I'm just threatening knight e5, which threatens a pawn in a very nice square. And also knight to g4, which I think they'll have to sacrifice their queen for. I'm not sure. e4 is definitely my next best move, even if it does lose a pawn. If they take, they would have to probably play f4 to stop me from playing knight g4, but then I take the pawn with a check on the king. And also my rook is here to defend, so they can't actually take. Yeah, I'm just going to play e4 here. Knight to g4 is my biggest plan. They go ahead and take, I'll actually go ahead and play knight e4 now, I think. I might even be able to allow them to push, to take. If they take, I just go here. There's nothing they can do to stop me. I mean, I should probably take first, though, to stop them getting a knight to f3. That's the only hope. If I can get my knight to g4, that just ends the game. Knight e5, they take, that's a blunder, I think. It hangs the knight after I move to g4 and threatens mate. The way they could stop my attack would be to bring a rook to the second file, second rank, and then push the f1 to protect the king. I really want knight to e5. They go ahead and push. They want to open up attacks on my king. But I'm not really worried because if they take, I just stand behind the pawn. And if they get to push, I just take. Knight to g4 is a massive threat right now. If they go ahead and take, that's a blunder. It has to be. They'd have to sacrifice their queen. Also, if they move their knight, I just have this simple knight to f2 check, threatening mate. They go ahead and take. That just allows knight to g4. And how did they stop mate? They have to give their queen. I don't see how they stop mate. This was my plan. Bringing in the knight, I just take. Pushing, I just take. Okay, that's reasonable, but I just take and it's mate anyway. Good game to my opponent. That's a fantastic find from me. Let's look at this game. They played at a 74.1, I played at an 84.4. I made a blunder which threw away the game. It was when I let them find the fork. But apart from that, they made a mistake which just let me play knight to g4, winning the game. So let's look at this. My opening was good. I should have just played knight to f6 instead of d6. But otherwise, it was all okay. This is a blunder which actually, yeah, gives them the tactic. This was a blunder, so I thought this would be nice for me to open up my rook and queen on the edge file, being very dangerous, but they actually had a tactic. They take the piece for free, because if I recapture, it walks into a fork. I play king d7 to stop them from escaping. But I'm still completely losing here. Here I should have left the knight on a8 and just brought my bishop back. That's interesting. I bring my rook to the e-file. I get to play e4. And recapturing is actually worse than just playing knight e5 straight away. Knight e5. If they take, knight g4. And what do they play? They play knight to f3. That's what stops me from mate. And if they play queen a4 check, I have to play king c7, c8. That's fair, but then they have to play knight to f3. And whatever else they play. For example, if they take my rook, it hangs mid. But here I get to play knight to e4 after they play c5. And now they throw the entire advantage away. -5 points in valuation, exactly -5. Because of knight to g4, which is such a massive threat. I'm threatening to sacrifice my bishop, because if they take it, it walks into a fork. So let's say they make a move. I'm threatening to sacrifice the bishop. I mean, I had made that, so the evaluation is very bad for me. And I would give them a check, actually, so that would be terrible. But this is just threatens checkmate, and the only move they had was to give up their queen. And here I'd be actually up material with a queen, and I think this would be much easier for me to play. I could just clean up the pawns around my king, bring my king to safety, and start attacks with my queen. They had to give up their queen, it was the only way. But instead they walk into mate. And that's a great win for me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.